This is Shamla Raguso. Today we're going to talk about how watercolor brushes and how to lay out for your first watercolor exercise. So these are the brushes that I use. This is a 1-inch flat. This by Simply Simon, which is really great. Holds your shapes really nicely. And this is a 1/2-inch flat with it's a different brand, but it has a nice scraper at the end, which you'll see today. I'll demonstrate that. So those are the flat brushes. You don't need anything more than that. And then 2 round ones. You're gonna need a big round one like this one. This is the scraping is gone, but it's like about a number 8 round and number 4 round. So you just want a small one and a medium size round. Okay, so we're gonna do a chart like this today. So you need to tape down your 11 by 14 paper like this. You don't have to tape inside, but draw lines so you can make equal shaped boxes. For the beginner class, you're gonna need 8 boxes, and for the advanced, you can do the 8 box and maybe a separate sheet of paper with 4 more, or you can do smaller boxes that are 12, okay? So today we're gonna do, actually I did these 2 because we're gonna do some on dry paper. This is gonna be wet with blotting of tissue. So I have my watercolor palette here, and I'm just gonna take some alizarin crimson color, and you're gonna you don't have to do all the box. So you're gonna do just like this. And you wanna make sure the color is nice and strong, because we're gonna be blotting, which means we're gonna be lifting out the color. So here's my watercolor like that. And I'm gonna just take some tissue. You don't wanna make it too big, like a small little square. This is just a paper towel. And you're gonna take it and make it like nice little round. And you can see you can blot out like that. You can make little shapes. This is great for like clouds and things. So you can make like twist with your arms. So it gives like nice fun shapes. And it's really, blotting means like you're removing, while it's still wet, you're removing all of the paint and it's coming on your tissue paper. You don't want to overdo it, and then you're going to remove all your paint and you're going to have nothing on your paper. So that's like great for clouds and things like that. So hard edges. So I'm going to do my flat brush. I'm going to grab the same watercolor. Hard edge just means that you're going to lay it down and you're not going to do something with the edge. Do anything with the edge of the wash that you just laid down. So it's gonna leave a hard edge like you're seeing there. Soft edge just means that while you're putting down the wash, you go back in your water, you rinse it out, and just with a little bit of water just on the edges, you're softening it, which means there will be no hard edge. So this how is nice and hard here, and this is soft. So there's like 2 different ways of getting what you need, what you're looking for. So that's that. And then lifting out on dry. So now this is all dried, and this is the best way to check if a wash is dry, is use the back out your finger. You don't want to do this because you're going to get oils in there. So you want to take this and really kind of make it dry. You can use a paper towel. I have a little sponge to absorb extra water. And you're going to use just a little bit of water, a little damp brush, and you hold it and you're going to lift it. See how it's lifting color out? That's my wash. And then I'm just pulling out color. So when I put the water in, I'm scraping it. I want to make sure that the brush is not too wet. And I'm scraping out. This is great for like tree trunks, like if you want to do like little trees in the background, you want to pull something out, or you put something down and you want to remove part of the wash. So that's really great for stuff like that, like wispy, you can do that. Or if you want to put a ground in. So it's like a great way to do that one. Now we're gonna do lift out and in a wet wash. So this is a wet wash. That wash was dry. So I had it dry already. Now this one's a wet wash. So when you lay down a wet wash, you'll see what happens when I lift it. You wanna make sure it's nice and dark though, so you can see the lifting happening. So here's my wet wash. So I'm gonna grab the same brush, and you see when I lift out in a wet wash, how different it looks from the dry. See, kind of when I do that, you're pulling the paint away, but some of it is still going in because the paper's still wet. So this will give you softer edge, and more of your wash will be able to remove. So it will look actually more whiter than that. And you can manipulate it as much as you want. A wash can be manipulated as long as it's wet. It's the best way. So now we're gonna do scrape into the wet wash. What are you doing when you're scraping? You put some wash down. I'm using the same color because you don't have to change out colors or anything. So when you have a wet wash like this, when you scrape in, what you're doing is you're digging the paint into the paper. So it's gonna leave a line. And this is great for, you know, scraping in maybe tree trunks or adding texture. And you can do it at I usually use the back end of a paintbrush. You can use, this one has a nice scraper, but you can use a regular back end of, this one has a regular rounded end, which gives you the same effect. Okay, and now we're gonna do some fun splattering. So splattering is great with a flat brush like this. You can splatter on wet, which creates great like snowflakes or something that you wanted to do in a distance. It has like a great effect like that. So what I want to do is I want to use like a different color, or just plain water would work too in a wet wash. So you're gonna do this, and you use your flat brush, and you're gonna just flicker with your brush. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's doing that little snowflakey looking thing. So that's on a wet one. And on a dry one, I'm gonna use a different color so you can see it. But in the dry one, the splatter stays where it is. So here's the splatter on the dry one. See how it looks different from the wet one? The wet one has more like a snowflakey feel. This one's like it stays where it's put because the wash is dry. Okay, so that's it for today. You're gonna do the other video has, you know, the main exercises. Okay.